So, when you're getting into the land investment game, what is the best exit strategy to profit on your properties? And what I mean by that, should you be flipping the properties yourself? Should you pass them off to other investors or wholesalers and have them do the dirty work for you? Or should you give them to a licensed real estate agent to go ahead and put them on the MLS and bring in their pool of buyers to go ahead and fulfill the transaction on the back end? Now, in this video, I'm going to walk you through each scenario so you could go ahead and decide what's the best fit for you so you can increase the odds of getting those checks that much faster. But just note, directly below in the description has plenty of resources you could use to go ahead and expand upon your land investment business, or just a couple opportunities to increase your passive income streams. But let's get into this here. You're getting into the land investment business. Now, depending upon what size of the properties you're dealing in is what's going to determine your exit strategy. So let's talk about these off-grid properties, which I think most people start with, and I think you should start with these cheap little tiny lots in places like New Mexico, Arizona, and Western Texas, Southeast California. Off-grid, tiny lots, 1 acre or smaller in size. Now, your acquisition on these in many cases is going to be under $500, and you're going to be flipping these things for about $1,500. There's not a ton of meat on the bone if you're going to go ahead and give it to a wholesaler investor to flip for you or to cash you out, or to a real estate agent to put it on the MLS. So these types of properties are where you're going to want to go ahead and buy ad space on the platforms like LandFlip, start a YouTube channel talking about the properties, promote them on social media, and flip them yourself to keep the bulk of the money in your pocket. The outlay is going to be your advertising cost, which is going to be $50 to $100, and then you're going to go ahead and do the filing fee, $25 to $50 for that. The rest of the money is yours. So on these tiny lots that you're working on somewhat thin margins, you want to go ahead and handle the whole transaction on your own. Now next, let's say we're getting into better type deals. Not necessarily higher dollar type stuff, but let's say bigger in size. 5 acre to 50 acre type properties in the same types of desert off-grid type scenarios. These are going to have an exit of, 5 acres, you're going to have an exit of under 5,000, let's say. Up to 50 acres, you're going to have an exit of about 30,000, somewhere in there. Plenty of meat in the deal here if you did a good job on your acquisitions. Now, if you did direct mail marketing, targeting out-of-state owners of these properties with a lowball offer, you probably did a fantastic job acquiring these things for next to nothing. Now, this opens up several doors for you. You could go ahead and do the promotions yourself, which is still a good thing to do. Buying ad space on all the land platforms, generating buyer leads from that, and the upside to that is even if you don't convert them, you're gathering data from people that are interested in owning land, which you could sell to down the road. So you want to have that no matter what. Next is your investor wholesaler exit strategy. This is where you could reach out to other investors on the platforms and say, hey, I noticed you have a lot of properties in these areas. I just took this down and I would be willing to sell it for blank. You're going to give it to them at a wholesale price there, right? So you can go ahead and just do the cold calling, make the connection, and if your exit price is, let's say, $30,000 and you acquired this thing for $5,000, you could sell it to these investors really fast for $15,000, maybe $20,000. They'll take the property and they'll flip it for $30,000 to make that 10 to their buyers list. Now, there's wholesalers as well on these types of deals where you could say, hey, I will JV this deal with you. I just took it down for $5,000. You put it out to the marketplace and we'll split 50-50 if you bring the buyer in. Now, however you want to look at that, I love if someone has all the data, they're aggressive, they're a salesperson, they're going to make things happen. Go on and handle that. You can keep half of the pie. I don't need all the money. So that's another way to look at your exit deals. And then finally, real estate agents can come into play on this. And if they're very specialized in the area, you notice they have all the listings of properties of those sizes, you could give it to them. They'll probably charge you 10%. They're going to charge you a little more because the exit price is going to be a little bit smaller, but they're going to get this on the MLS for you so you could go ahead and have access to a gigantic pool of new buyers. They're going to go ahead and handle the transaction for roughly 10%. You get to keep the rest of the money. So each property scenario is going to have a different exit on how you want to handle that, whether personally, you're going to investors, wholesalers, or giving it to an agent. And then finally, I'm testing the waters in the state of Florida. Now, I just laid out all the exit strategies for you there. And for me, I typically do all the deals myself, or I'll flip them to other investors. That's how I work it. So if I'm doing it myself, I'm selling it to the end consumer. If I have investors or wholesalers, I'm just marking it up a little bit, grabbing that fast cash, and I'm getting on to the next deal. Now in Florida, I had purchased properties from real estate agents in areas that I'm testing out that are new. Here's what I mean. If something looks promising to me and I don't want to deploy the money into marketing yet, I'll just buy a property directly from a real estate agent and then I'll market that property to see if I like the area and what's going on. If I get a positive response and I sell the property fast, I say, great, let's go ahead and do a bunch of direct mail marketing. We'll buy as many of these as we can for next to nothing. I'll turn around and list them online personally for seller financing terms and I'll sell them on a note, and these things keep flipping fast. So that's why I know I get a great area there. But recently, I had some deals default. I took them back and I said, you know what? Let's try giving these to agents to list for outright purchases. Now, I'm going to do more of this if I get a positive response out of the deal. But I gave a property to a agent in a specific area where he seems to have a lot of these listings. Has a lot of knowledge too. So he went ahead, put it on the MLS. He's got it at a 10% commission if he makes a sale on it there. And we're going to test everything out with him. If he converts these deals, then I will deploy a ton of direct mail marketing. I will give a percentage of the deals that I take down to him to go ahead and list for outright cash out purchases. The rest I will go ahead and market on the land investing platforms, plus to my email list of hungry buyers, and sell them on seller financing terms to get those monthly notes out of the deal. Now, I know we covered a lot in this video here, but I wanted to make sure you knew there's plenty of exit strategies, really unlimited exit strategies you could go ahead and use to profit on these deals, but don't limit yourself. Go ahead and start with a few different ones in the beginning and then see what works. If things are working well for you, you want to go ahead and scale those out into bigger deals and then build out your portfolio till you hit the profits that you're actually after. Now, you probably have some questions about this, questions about new areas, how to make offers, how to do direct mail marketing, whatever the case is. Got questions about the land investment business, drop them down below in the comment area, or you can just text me directly at 440-567-6040, and I'll create the videos based on that as well. But as always, I truly appreciate you tuning into this. Check out the resources directly below in the description there. Like I said, if you need help getting through your first or next land investment deal, we can go ahead and schedule a call with a link down below at landflippingmichael.com. Or if you're just looking to, invest in a few things that'll give you monthly passive income for real, there's links down there that cover all that as well, like using apps like Robinhood, Public, and then buying REITs on those platforms so you can go ahead and get that cash flow. But whatever the case may be, go ahead and hit me up. I truly appreciate you tuning in this. As always, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.